right, how you guys doing? Welcome to another week of the Pre-PT Chat Live. We have Casey all the way from California
That's
enjoying his
right.
internship. Casey, how has it been so far, sir?
It's been great. Patient load is getting a little heavier, but it's fun. It's actually fun being a PT. You go through the whole pre-PT application. You're like, am I going to get in? You go through PT school, like, is this ever going to end? It's so hard. You go through a period like, this is not what I came here to do. Then now you go on clinicals, whether you like acute care, outpatient, whatever it is. Then you're like, man, this is what I did all the work for. This is why I'm here and all that. So it all comes full circle when you get to this point and where Joseph is at, of course. So don't lose hope. You'll get there. You'll get there. Keep grinding.
Perfect, perfect. So we got some people hopping on. And so tonight's topic is what if I give PT everything? What if I put all my all my coins in one basket and still fail to get it? And I think this is a very, very good conversation to have tonight. Mainly because one of the things that is part of all of our lives is fear, what ifs, not knowing what's going to happen in the future. We're not, fortune tellers, and so that very thing about us really causes us to doubt. But also, when we get there, we don't know what to do next, and so we want to have that conversation because there are two people. I mean, there are those of y'all that are on two different spectrums of that conversation, and whether you want to agree with it or not, most of you, not all, but most of you are going to find yourself in one of the two categories that we are going to discuss tonight. Yo, what's up, Andrew Tyler? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Man, it's good to see you guys out here tonight. If you guys have any questions at all tonight, we're talking about some things that are a little bit different. We want to talk to you guys about how you guys think and how you guys handle this scenario, like in particular. But if y'all have any questions, feel free to drop them below, and we will address them as we go. So, Casey, what happens? Like, what if I? So, two perspectives. First perspective is I am going to apply to PT school. Who knows? Maybe this year. Maybe I'll apply to school in 2019. Maybe I'm a pre-PT that is, maybe it's a few years away. But at the back of my mind is this one question. What if I put everything into PT? What if I put all my efforts towards physical therapy and it doesn't happen? What if I put everything towards physical therapy and I do not get in? Like, what then? What, like, so the reason why I'm asking this, Casey, is because there are a lot of people that want to have a lot of different options, right? And we have options because we're not positive that the one option that we really want is feasible or will actually happen. So we want to set ourselves up so we have backup plans, right? So what happens, Casey, if because there are two sides to this question. The first one is the one I'm asking you right now, and the second one is, what if I'm a pre-PT and it's already happened to me? What next, right? So for the student that's looking to the future and saying, man, I want PT. Like, I actually want to put everything into physical therapy. I see its value. I see myself doing it for a long time. I see myself serving in that profession for a long time. Like, it's what I want. But I can't predict the future. I can't predict it. So I don't know if I'll even get in. Maybe my GPA is a little rough. Maybe my GRE is a little rough. So I'm afraid of really kind of going all in, because my friends have told me it's foolish to go all in. My family has told me it's foolish to go all in, right? They want me to have backup plans. So what if, Casey, what would you tell me? What if I put all my coins in one basket? What if I put everything into physical therapy in the future and I still don't get it? Like,
Yeah, well, first I'm gonna go backwards. I'm gonna answer the second one first, then hop back to the first. But first, like, you got to understand that rejection is somewhat a part of life. Whether it's small, whether it's large, whether it's PT school, whether it's a girl or a boy, whatever it is, whatever, it's a part of life. It happens. The question now is, are you going to let it define you or not? Right? So
Mm.
what if it's Pete? So for my example, like I didn't get in the first time. If I let it define me, then what was that? 3.5, 4 years ago. If I let it define me, then crush all my spirits, crush all my dreams, crush all my hopes.
Mm.
I could be doing something totally different right now. I don't know what it would be, but I definitely would not be on this live stream talking to 19 of you guys on right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be in California just out of the clinic seeing patients. Those patients
Mm.
would have never met me. The patients on my last rotations and the one coming up after this
Mm.
would have never had that experience with me, if I let it define me years ago. So,
Yeah.
rejection happens at different levels, at different stings. Something might be, oh, it doesn't matter. It might be PT school. It might be, that girl or boy you like.
Mm.
Like you guys, believe it or not, you guys reject pre-PT grind, me and Joseph all the time. But we're being honest. We put stuff out there. You might scroll past, say, oh, I don't like that podcast, or no, I don't want to join that group, or I don't like this and that. Like, we can't let it define us. Because if we did, we wouldn't be where we are today. We wouldn't have kept moving forward. We wouldn't have served the people who
Mm.
did want to work with us. So it happens to all of us. So if it does happen to you, what are you gonna do? How is it gonna define your life, your career? Are you gonna crumble? Are you gonna roll up and cry about it forever and move on to something else? Or are you gonna get back on that horse as soon as possible and move on from there and make it a notch in your belt and make it. Oh, we got a question. Sorry. Oh, accept. How did I eventually accept my rejection, and what was my next move? Um, well, how did I accept it? I'm not too sure about how exactly. It took me some time, I'm not gonna lie, like 3 or 4 weeks. I was angry, depressed, all that stuff, whatever you want to call it, at different levels. But after that, I was like, you know what? I took a step back. Okay, what did I do? Like, what is everything in my control that was my fault that I could have done better? Okay, I was a pre-pharmacy major at first. Yeah, I could have changed that. Yeah, I was taking some harder classes that weren't necessarily required for the PT track, right? Like I could make all these excuses. Oh, I took harder classes. I was this major. I was that. But ultimately, I could have did better, right? It all falls on me. I could have took more control. I could have got an A in this class instead of a B plus. I could have did this and that. So after I was sad about it, after I was angry, whatever you want to call it, I I think more I accepted myself and what I did wrong instead of accepting the rejection. However you want to take that, if that means I accepted the rejection or just accepted what was my responsibility in it or
Yeah.
accountability, that's what I did. I accepted like what I did for what it was, and I moved on from that, making the necessary changes as soon as possible. I didn't
Yeah.
wallow in it. I didn't cry about it any longer than I had to. I was like, okay, this is what I did. This is what I need to do in order
Mm.
for it to not happen again. So
Yeah.
that brings me to, okay, what if you haven't applied yet? What if you haven't gone through any of that and you don't want to,
Yeah.
right? Okay, my story and the other stories you might have heard with 3, 4 rejections, that doesn't have to be you. However, you do have to start now. You probably shouldn't wait until the application process opens a couple months from now or next cycle or whatever. You got to do everything in your control now, whether it's cutting off certain things so you can get an A plus in certain classes, retake, whatever you got to do. You
Yeah.
got to understand that everything right now is in your control, so you don't have to have my story or whoever else's story out there. So accept it, accept your stages of grief, whatever you want to call it. Understand that it's your responsibility, it's
Mhm.
your life, it's your fault. You got to be accountable
Yeah.
for everything there, because it's nobody else's, storm, nobody else's journey. I'm not going to go through it for you. Joseph's isn't, Greg
Hmm.
Todd isn't. So you guys got to understand that it's all on you.
Yeah.
However, that's a good thing when you get accomplished, when you get to certain stages, you're like, yeah, that's all on me. I did that. It sucks
Yeah.
when you get some rejections and stuff like that, but yeah, I kind of rambled on there, but yeah,
No,
I
but
think that's kind of how I accepted it and moved on from it.
yeah, you're making perfect sense, man. And I think at the heart of this is this. What I'm about to say next might not make sense initially, guys, but but think about it a little longer afterwards, because it's a little different from how we have been trained to think growing up. And like I had a live stream yesterday with Greg Todd, actually, where we were saying that you have to embed yourself in the reality of what you want, right? And so at the end of the day, it's first of all being honest with yourself with the fact that, like, is physical therapy what you want? Is physical therapy something that was handed to you? Because it can be very different. It can be something that your parents may have wanted for you. It can be something that you want for yourself because of A, B, C, D. It can be something that you just, were scrolling through the internet and were like, yo, they got good hours. They don't got to worry about, being called, in the middle of the night. So it sounds like a good job. It looks like a secure job or whatever. Like, I get it, whatever. Like, shoot, maybe I'll try PT. Maybe I'll try physical therapy, right? If that's what you really want, like, if that's the reason why you chose physical therapy, if that's the reason why you want the career, then okay, a lot of things can really kind of throw you off, all right? But if you guys even think about how we've been trained from childhood, right? Man, I'm about to talk about some stuff. So even how we've been trained from childhood, we've been trained to take the less risky route, right? So even in classes, think about classes. We've, like, if I'm going to do something that is going to potentially jeopardize my class grade, or like, I'm not going to ride a bike if it's nice and rocky. I'm going to ride my bike when it's nice and smooth because it's predictable, right? When something has a risk element to it, we have not been taught, we haven't trained ourselves, we haven't learned to actually go for it. So what ends up happening is a lot of pre-PTs, if you guys are upset with us talking like this, it's fine. But this is like this is very necessary. A lot of pre-PTs are ready to shoot for something that they know they can obtain before going for what they really want, let alone even identifying what they really want. So this conversation that we're having right now about, like, if I apply for PT school, or if I get to that point and I fail to not get in, or whatever, like, shoot, yo, Greg, don't play around, bro. Shoot. But at the end of the day, like, do you really want physical therapy? Because if you do, then we figure out what to do. If you get to the point where you do not get accepted, okay, now we got decisions to make. But the last thing on your mind is, I'm tapping out. Because if the first thing on your mind is you're tapping out, then maybe you didn't want it bad enough anyway, or you're okay with settling something, or you're okay with settling for something that you can hit because it guarantees that you'll actually succeed in it, right? So what if you are a pre-PT right now that's looking forward to August, looking forward to this next application cycle, but you're saying, actually, this might not be it. I might not actually, I'm looking at my classmates. They're not like, they're a lot further ahead than I am. I'm looking at myself. I don't know if schools really want me, right? If those are the things that are determining, like, whether you'll succeed or not, it's one of two things. You don't want PT bad enough to fight for it, or two, you're more interested in shooting for something that you can actually hit. You're more interested in shooting for something that is lower that you can actually hit. And if that's what you want, then shoot. Like, Casey, I don't know about you, bro, but when I finish working as a PT, when I finish my career, I want to be able to look back and say that whether I failed or succeeded, I went for what I actually wanted. And if you really want physical therapy, then the decisions are easy. If you are right now, you've never applied before, and you're preparing to apply this cycle of 2019, cycle of 2020, maybe you're a high schooler, thinking about, potentially, getting into the field of physical therapy. If that's the case, then, like, and you're thinking, I don't know if you're not sure about it, like, identify what you really want. Because if you don't, then it's going to be very easy for other people to decide that for you. If you're getting on a call with Casey and myself saying, hey, should I do physical therapy? There's no way in heck we're going to say, yeah, you should, or yeah, you shouldn't. Because our reason for being in PT and your reason might be different. But if you come to us and you're saying, y'all, I want physical therapy. I want physical therapy because of A, B, C, and D. This is it. If I actually, Joseph and Casey, if I choose another career, I would be selling myself short. If I choose another career, I would actually be undercutting myself, even though I feel like this is it. Heck, Casey and Joseph, I may have applied already and I didn't get in. I didn't get in. Shoot. Like, and I'm stuck. But I'm actually hitting y'all up because I still want physical therapy. I still want it. Like, I'm not ready to settle for something that I can aim low for and hit. I want what is for me. And if physical therapy is that for you, then that's when we make those decisions. But you guys have to first of all identify what you really want. That, like, only then can you embed yourself in the reality of that. Only then can you actually take the steps forward to fight for it. Only then can you say every single morning, I'm going to take strides towards applying this. If you're applying this cycle, y'all shouldn't be like, hey, because I'm saying, y'all, listen, I've had a full day in the clinic. I'm at the point where I'm just gonna say, like, what's on my heart, because this is what I wish someone would have told me, y'all. But as as someone who might be applying this coming cycle, if you are waiting or anticipating or saying, hey, let me just wait till the cycle starts. When the cycle starts, I'll start my stuff. I'll start researching. I'll start thinking about this. I don't got time for that right now. I got my classes to worry about, or I'm just gonna, like, if you are not now working towards it, then you have to ask yourself, is it what you really want? Is it what you really want? And if it is, that's when we take the strides. That's when Casey was able to realize, shoot, I got denied. I got to figure this out. Did it hurt? Did it suck? Yes. Yes. But that's okay. But that's okay. But don't let that failure, don't let that discouragement, don't let that moment define what happens next. Don't listen to other people, because, man, I was telling somebody earlier today, an opinion is the most cheap, like, it's the least expensive thing anybody can give you. Everybody has one. And if you're going to take someone's opinion, as law just because they gave it to you, then shoot, you got to figure something out. Because everybody has an opinion. I have an opinion. Casey has an opinion. Jeremy Sutton has an opinion. Gabby Mace has an opinion. Like, everyone has an opinion. And everyone is ready to give it. And most of the times, like, we give opinions that we think are good. Like, we're not trying to mislead people every single day. At least I'm sure not, like, everyone on this live stream. I'm sure I'm sure that's not how you see it. But at the end of the day, you have to understand you. You have to understand what you want, because that's the only way you can get the direction. And that's the only time when you can say, yo, I didn't get in, but shoot, I want this bad. I want this bad, because if I don't, I'm going to look back on this and regret it. I might work in a clinic as another position, and I'm going to spend my entire career complaining, about this, that, and the other. I'm going to spend my entire career frustrated. I'm going to find things that are wrong with other people. I'm going to be upset all the time. Because I didn't get what I actually wanted. But we are not naturally wired to go towards fear. But when you guys embrace that fear, when you guys decide that you're willing to run through that wall to get what is yours, then that's the only time you're going to know what to do next. That's the only time you're going to know who to call next. That's the only time you're going to know who to go to motivate you. Because if someone's getting on a call, you're like, hey, you should rethink this, and you should think about doing something else, you're going to be like, oh, wrong person, my bad, sorry. But if someone's like, yo, listen, I know it sucks, man, just kind of get yourself together. You know what? I'm here for you, man. Let me just encourage you. Let me give you a word of wisdom, whatever. When you're ready, let's get back on this doggone horse and do it again. Only this time we're going to do it better, because it's what you want. Casey, you got something else on that?
Yeah. Just to add a little bit before we, close and end this out. Like, you were making some great excellent points. Is that in my situation, I could not embed myself in that reality until that mindset was right. That, okay, this is like the last time. Like, I'm getting in. Like, there was no, what if? Oh, maybe I won't. Like, no, I'm in. I'm getting in. Then once I had that established, then I can go into that reality and everything I had to do with full confidence, with a full plan, with a full strategy, with full tactics, with full confidence on the interviews and the essay, everything I had to do. I believe it stems from that initial change in mindset. Like, no, this is it. I'm getting in. I believe it showed through the essay, showed through the interviews, showed through the letters of recommendation I had to get.
Yeah.
Everything stemmed from that root, from that foundation. And that's what it built off of. So by the time I applied, I got my interview. A few weeks later, boom, I'm in.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, like, yeah, I was excited. I was happy. I was elated, honestly. But at the same time, I was like, well, yeah, of course I was accepted. Yeah, of course this other school accepted me too. And of course
Hmm.
they want an interview now. Of course. Like, I've
Hmm.
done everything in my power to put me in this place. I have everything set. And not only do I have it set, but I prepare for this,
Exactly.
9 months, 11 months in advance. So I've been
Yeah.
training for this for a year. So there's no surprises when everybody wants me in their school,
Yeah.
when everybody, wants me to go here and there, when they're accepting me left and right, when I'm getting interview calls and stuff. So it
Yeah.
has to stem from everything Joseph said. You got to get your mindset right. Well, first you got to figure out what you want, establish your mindset, get it right, then say, no, this is it. I'm getting in wherever I want to go. If you have to change your, schools and strategies you have to apply to, whatever you got to do, this is it. I'm getting in. My GRE scores is good. My grades are good. Everything
Yeah.
that I have planned now is good, and I'm getting in. There's
Yep.
no other way. Might be some fear, but other than that, like, you're on a straight path and you're good. And you're good from there. Fear is gone, anxiety is gone, apprehension's gone. All that's good, and that's it. And that's
Done.
it. Welcome to the PT profession. Welcome to PT school. Uh, Say hi to all your patients for me. All that good stuff. So that's pretty much all I need to add. That
Yeah.
fear of applying again, that fear of rejection is pretty much gone because you're
Exactly.
doing everything in your power now. So that's pretty much it.
Y'all, listen. We're wrapping this up. That was the message tonight. But if y'all are out here just trying to figure your life out, you're like, yo, man, I really want this thing. I really want this thing. Or maybe, yeah, thank you, Casey and Joseph. Maybe I hadn't thought about this through. Or maybe you're offended about what we talked about. It's fine. You're either in one of those categories. It's cool. You decide. But if you're like, yo, I think like this is it. I think PT is it. Like I really think I'm locked into it. But I need someone to kind of help give me some direction. Y'all hit us up at contactpreptgrind.com. Just send us a message. Like go to that link. It'll allow you to send us a message and we'll talk to you. Let's just figure it out with you. But at the end of the day, that has to be like it has to be from within. It has to be from within. Because if you don't do that, then it's very easy to listen to guidance from so many different people and never really gaining direction. That's when you can say, hey, I listen to Casey and Joseph, and then I listen to my classmates, and then I listen to my parents, and then I listen to my cousin that's like one of my biggest, motivators or whatever. And their messages are a little different, actually. They don't match up. Because remember, everybody has an opinion. Everybody's opinion is always going to be for the intention of serving you. But once you identify what you want, once you identify that physical therapy is what you want and no one's going to shake that, and that anything else that you go for is one step below what is meant for you, then that's when you're able to figure out which voice to listen to. Does that sound good? All right.
That's
Hope you
it.
guys have a good evening. It's another week of the Pre-PT Chat Live. We'll be back next week, as always, on Thursday night. We're doing 9 p.m. now. We used to do 8 p.m. We're going to be doing 9 p.m. We'll see you guys then. If you guys are like, yo, I want to get locked into PT, hit us up. Go to contactpreptgrind.com like today. Send us a message. We'll talk. Whenever you see this video, send us a message. We'll talk because we want to make sure that you guys have the best opportunity to not achieve our dream, because we already got into PT school, but to achieve yours. But you first of all got to realize or figure out whether it really is your dream or not. Y'all have a good one.